Welcome to episode 4 of Joystick Maverick. As always, I am Ernie Hawkins. He is Dom Irvin, and we are your hosts. There it is, man. That's the best intro so far. It only took me 4 episodes to not sound like a complete jackass saying our own names.
It's really hard to say my own name. I hate
mean,
the way my name sounds. I just to be like, "Hi, my name's Dom."
I mean, it's like remembering your telephone number. I think I could remember everybody's number except for my own if I hadn't had it more than half of my life. So, if you had my number in high school, you've got my number today. Spoilers.
I just changed that, so.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, you did. All right, sweet. So this week we it's been a weird, funky week. I think last week we kicked things off with the state of gaming, and we're going to do it again this week. And spoiler, we kind of already mentioned what this week's going to be about in gaming. So let's see. Let's share some screens. Let's get this going. I feel bad for the people at home listening on the podcast. If you are, stop what you're doing. Go to YouTube, hit play, pick up right back at this point.
But if you're not, it says the state of gaming.
Yeah, we'll read it out loud.
Joystick. It's great. It's great.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. All right. Sweet. All right. So the state of gaming this week. It's MLB The Show. Oh my God. Yeah. All right. So if you guys did have extra money, you spent it last week on April 16th to get your early access. The time of recording this, it's April 19th. Tomorrow's the 20th. So, light them if you got them. But you probably waited, saved your money to get the game and come out on the 20th. So today, Xbox put out a nice little tweet picture. Yeah. It's got a Fenway Park. It's their scoreboard. And instead of having the scores, it says MLB The Show, 21 tomorrow. It's clever. It's clever. Somebody took the time to oh, there's just as many letters in this as this.
They were lucky.
Yeah. Then they called the intern. They're like, "Hey, intern, can you make this look like that?" And the
Photoshop an extra W.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't, it's not the best graphic design work, but, it's better than what we do on a weekly basis, so I can't really call too much shit, right? Let's see. The other thing that was going on, there's no really other game releases, but we talked about this last week about E3, and it really made me think about what the state of conventions have been like during COVID last year, coming into this year, where we kind of kick off with the convention season. So I want to give us the shot of kind of just rolling through the current state of things and see if we can't, just dissect what's going on. So first things first, let's go back to last week with E3.
Yeah, E3 is online only now, which is insane. They did this last year, and it was okay. It wasn't great, to be honest. And I think that was honestly just due to planning. You have this showcase that's just been a staple of the video game community for such a long time, and it really kicks off the video game season. And for everything that happened last year, and I think they started canceling it in February, March, and then they were like, "All right, we're pushing it back. Okay, it's just going to go online." I really think that hopefully that this experience is really over the top. I would love for E3 2021 being an only virtual show to really be the pioneer for virtual events. I don't know if you saw, did you watch the DC showcase last year?
It came out in August? I think I got a couple of snippets. I mean, it was where they announced Black Adam. I definitely was hyped up for that, obviously.
I will tell you, that's how you do a show.
Oh, really?
That was incredible.
It was days long, right? And it was
days long. But you had the one day that had everything in it. And then they had this Hall of Justice style 3D background that someone was standing in and hosting it. And then they had live interviews, and then they showed trailers and all of that. And I really think I hope that E3 does that. I know that Jeff Keighley did that for, I think it was the Game Awards last year. I think he did something similar, and that was also very well received. Right. But I think that this is the time for E3. E3 has really come under fire the last couple of years. They leaked a whole bunch of data for content creators, media, and everybody to the public. It was just an Excel spreadsheet on their website, which is terrible. Contact information, phone numbers, addresses. It was bad. And then Sony's been out of E3 for a couple of years, and it's I think it's time for E3 to really try to bite back, because now it's a great event. They show cool games, but it's really been lackluster the last couple of years. I mean, 20, I think it was like 2012, 2011, 2013. Those were like the most incredible E3 years, in remembrance. I mean, we got all of those crazy game announcements and a lot of surprises. So my hope is that comes back, but I'm interested to see how an all virtual event works.
For sure. And I think it was just a couple of years ago, they went from it being an industry only show to opening up to the public too. So, I mean, it's now they've got different attendee types, media or fans, and then industry and exhibitioners. But to your point, this should be the standard, hopefully, that they're going to set, and everybody else should follow suit after that.
Yeah.
Number 2 on my list here was PAX. Commonly, I think it's Penny Arcade Expo, right? Like
it started off as like a comic book thing.
Yeah, if we zoom in
like
a little bit here,
comic, you can see Penny Arcade.
Yeah, you can see the little bit of the fall of Penny Arcade Book 10, little advertisement there. So they've got a couple of different shows. They got one PAX West, they got PAX East, PAX South, Australia, Unplugged Dev, etc. So online, supposedly it's in 90 days. The last post they had about anything was 2020. It looks like. I'm just looking at the top. Unless this is really supposed to be for the day of the event, and you got 90 days out. There's really been no updates. But except for PAX West, that seems to be going as planned, happening in Seattle, Washington in September. Right. It's going to be an in-person event. Same thing with Australia is still going as planned in October. And I believe PAX Unplugged is in Philadelphia in December. So this is obviously the world post-COVID. Hopefully people are vaccinated, things are a little bit more safe. But I'm interested to see how this plays out, as well as how the online version in 90 days kind of happens. And hopefully we can get some more features here. They got some little bit of details here about the streaming and being on the indie showcase and stuff like that, which PAX is known for, is their
it's indie
showcase. Yeah. Versus like your big major league kind of exhibition.
Yeah, your E3, your Tokyo Game Shows, your Gamescom. Yeah, I love PAX. I've always wanted to go to a PAX show. I've tried to get to PAX East a few times. Nice. I think I was pretty close to getting to PAX East last year, and then COVID happened. But yeah, I am interested to see how this online showcase goes. And I'm also interested to see how these in-person events turn out. I mean, I see your next tab is Comic-Con, and a lot of Comic-Cons are being canceled already. They're going virtual.
Yep.
They're not returning to actual in-person Comic-Con until 2022, which is nuts. I mean, think of the amount of movies and such that come out before then. I mean, by 2022, we have Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is before then. Not to mention all the DC stuff that's coming out beforehand. It'll be interesting. I mean,
yeah, they've got it's kind of a weird year for them. They're doing a Comic-Con at home. It says from July 23rd to 25th, which is fine. But then they've got what they're calling a special edition, which makes great sense in the comic world. They have a special edition coming up November 26th to the 28th. It'll be an in-person, it looks like, but it'll be much smaller and kind of a supplemental event. I'm assuming this will be where we get maybe some bigger announcements, mainly because I don't think they've been as successful in this virtual kind of approach to the whole convention system. If you look at the WonderCon site in general, or these sites in general, they're fairly, I'll say early 2000s WordPressy.
Yeah, they're not great.
Yeah, they've got this like right-hand panel. They've got a general kind of information in the center and some banners at the top and bottom. But and even a forums is an entire dedicated page, so it's nothing insane. But hopefully we'll see some changes, and we'll actually get a supplemental live event here in the future.
I feel bad for Comic-Con because, PAX, E3, Tokyo Game Show, all of those, they're video games. It's easy to demonstrate that stuff virtually.
Yeah.
And Comic-Con was like really the last holdout, for comic books and tabletop and Warhammer and all of these really big in-person things, and you have the cosplay shows and like the excitement of going to Hall H and watching the Marvel Studios panels and all of that. And I think that took such a hit that it just doesn't lend itself well to the virtual space, which is why I thought the DC showcase was so good.
Yeah.
I hope that they can bounce back. November 23rd, what is it? 23rd, 24th for their special event
edition. Yeah.
I'm interested to see that.
28.
Because that's an interesting date. Time frame. November is kind of like when all of these big movies hit. We'll be in, I think at that point we would have had Black Widow, Shang-Chi, and Eternals. Yep. At that point we might have. Yep. So it might be good for them to start talking about Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Black Panther 2, maybe a Fantastic Four casting. And then for DC, we're coming up on Batman in early 2022 as well. And then maybe a Shazam trailer, or not a Shazam, but a Black Adam trailer. So I'm excited. I'm interested to see.
Shoot, by then we could see the inklings of a Flash trailer. I know today
they announced principal photography started today.
Exactly. Yeah. So we probably might get some early snippets, maybe some shots, or at least a panel of the people in the movie. So that could be something big working up. I know that historically this has been a really big platform for the release of this information, or like breaking trailers and that kind of thing. So I think with the move to COVID, that probably lost some luster there, and I think that if they can at least get a special edition out, and it'll be right around Thanksgiving, right? So then you got people on break, they can divide their focus from their jobs and everything, things to kind of enjoy a little bit of like entertainment from afar. So
right,
hopefully that'll happen. Next up, a little spoiler alert. If you were following along via video, already showed we're talking about RTX at home. So Rooster Teeth Expo. Once upon a time,
it's not Rooster Teeth Expo. I was corrected 14 times during RTX.
What is it?
It's Rooster Teeth, Texas.
What? What? Can I scroll and see if that's still true, or do they?
It doesn't make any sense because it's not actually called Rooster Teeth Expo.
This is the dumbest thing ever. Rooster Teeth, Texas. Do they have anything else somewhere else?
Well, they have this event in Australia, but it's still called RTX.
So it's not RTU. Yeah. What the fuck? What the fuck are they talking about? It's. Let's be honest. It's Expo. Look at PAX. You took the X. They used the X. It's Expo. Get over yourself. Well, right now it's Rooster Teeth, Texas at home.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. July 8th through the 17th. I personally became a fan of this way back in the days of Red vs. Blue, with those voice actors and those little videos from the early days of Halo. And Dom, actually, you went to one of the RTX events.
We went to an early one in 2012 as press. And it was awesome. I mean, you got to meet all of the original Red vs. Blue guys, which a lot of those guys aren't with with Rooster Teeth anymore. They've all moved on to other things, and it was awesome. It was a great experience. At that time, 343 Studios was there, which is the team that took over Halo from Bungie. Right. You had Smite was like a big thing there. That was just coming on board. Loot Crate was a big thing there. Like that was just coming out. And Ruby, their anime that they developed, that was the premiere. We actually got to see the premiere with that. And Maniom, we did an interview with Maniom, who passed away a couple years after that.
R.I.P. Maniom.
Yeah, he his animation style, he did all of like the animation for Red versus Blue seasons 8, 9, and 10, I think, where they actually started to kind of, it wasn't just head bobbing in Blood Gulch. So it's a great event. It's a really cool event. It's really blossomed into a community event. There's a lot that goes on there. I'm sad to see that it's still an at-home event. I think it really lends itself well to being an in-person event, but I did see that last year. They did this as well, and it was successful.
Well, I hope it's just as successful this year. Obviously, I would love to go to one of these events. It's based out of Austin, Texas, I believe, the home of their of their studios. So maybe next year, buddy. Maybe next year.
Maybe.
Speaking of wanting to go to some of these, DragonCon is kind of awesome, mainly because for us, it's on the East Coast. It's close-ish. Yeah. It's in Atlanta, Georgia. It's actually still an in-person event this year, so you can still buy tickets. You can book hotels potentially. Granted, Atlanta is huge, so it's not like you're going to sell out that whole city. But I mean, from what I hear, this is still kind of the Wild West of Comic-Cons. They've been happening since 1987, so it's just older than you are, Dom, and just younger than I am. And you can tell it's big if you've got even an association with NBC down here at the bottom. So that to me, this looks like they're probably going to be the most fun just by going through the previous year resources. So that's still happening again, September 2nd through September 6th. 2021. Get your tickets now.
Yep.
And the last thing I wanted to mention, and this is for people that actually listen to the show, watch the show. I didn't know you could just kind of find a spot to kind of go through all these different ones, but Reed Pop actually does a lot of these events. They're known for the Metaverse event, which was New York Comic Con combined with MCM Comic Con Metaverse, the Star Wars Celebration, even all the PAX online and PAX events run through this, as well as the Crunchyroll Expo, which all I remember is just Crunchyroll videos. I didn't know they had enough of those for an expo now. So
that thing's huge, man. Anime is such a big market.
Yeah, man, it seems to be huge, and just barely starting to roll through this list of stuff here. I mean, it is a monster, and Reed Pop seems to be just having a con for almost everything, almost everywhere. Yeah. So if you're into it, they probably got it. Definitely give those a look and check those out, as they might be virtual or in person, especially if they're happening after September. So definitely give those a look. Now, moving right along, coming up soon. I think this is probably, I'm going to leave this up, Don, just so I can actually read the synopsis. So
yeah, absolutely.
Hide the panel. Nobody peeking. No peeking. You keep your eyes focused on the screen, folks. So here we go. We've got coming soon. Boom.
Yeah. This is insane. I can't believe they've made 9 movies.
9 movies.
And a spinoff with Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah, if you count it, that's 10.
That's 10. These movies have been out since I was in 7th grade. I mean, 2001. I mean, we're talking a 20-year saga. There are not a lot of movie series that last 20 years. I mean, The Land Before Time was like one of the only other ones.
Dude, but it's nuts.
They're still good. That's the problem. I don't understand it. It's just they're still good. I just watched Fast and the Furious 1 recently again. I was in a hotel on vacation, and we were about to go out to eat. My wife and I were about to go out to eat, and we were like just flipping the channels for the dog. And then like the beginning was the very first scene of Fast and the Furious, the first Fast and the Furious. Nice. And I was like, well, let's order a pizza and watch it. So we watched it, and
they're robbing the semi truck right now.
Yeah. I mean, you have these characters that have become iconic. They've added characters, they removed characters. I mean, Paul Walker passed away a couple of years back.
R.I.P. Paul Walker. This has been a real sad
yeah, I know. So I mean, but right on the bat, you have Han that's here, who apparently died in Tokyo Drift, but was such a popular character in Tokyo Drift that he was in 4, 5, 6,
right,
and 7. The beginning of 7,
right.
And then they're like, all right, well, I guess we got to bring him back because everybody loves Han.
And he's constantly eating, by the way. That's my favorite thing about this character. He's always eating. I'm just like, dude, him and Brad Pitt are the only 2 actors I've noticed that they can eat on screen and I don't become annoyed at it. I don't know why, but the chick from the show Weeds, she was constantly drinking like a Starbucks coffee in every episode of Weeds. And I was just like, what are you doing? Just put the drink down.
Just put the
drink down. But no, to your point, though, this has been out. So this first one came out, I think, June 22nd, June 23rd, 2001.
Yeah.
So when this comes out, it'll be 20 years plus a few days for the 9th film in this coming out. And the big thing about this one is the synopsis says Dominic Toretto and his crew join forces to battle the most skilled assassin and high-performance driver they've ever encountered, which is, by the way, the synopsis of probably every single one of these movies for the past 5 movies. But here's the asterisk. It's his forsaken brother. And who is his brother? John Cena, a man 60 years his senior in real life. You can't tell me they don't look the same exact age, though.
He's supposed to play his little brother.
By how much?
A day?
A day? Yeah. They're the same age. Oh, he's younger because he's got more hair. Dominic shaves. He shaves his head. You could see it. And then, of course, we got, talking about heads and hair. Guess who's got a terrible haircut in this movie? The past movie's villain. Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
Rocking a bob cut. I don't know who made the choice. It's your hair. You do what you want with it. Maybe it was just, they got to keep this undercut for another film. I don't know, but it looks terrible. However,
what is it with wrestlers being actors, but like in movies that I enjoy? So like it's like, I mean, we have John Cena who's in this. He's also in the Suicide Squad coming up. You have The Rock, who has been just an actor recently and is in everything I love. And you have Dave Bautista, who's in Guardians of the Galaxy.
I love when segues happen because, Dom, right after this Fast and Furious topic, we're talking about Dave Bautista in Army of the Dead. Dude, it's so good. I love that segue. You've been practicing.
I have. I learned from the best.
You're like, yeah, somebody get it. Dave Bautista. I want to show the next slide here for people at home. It is a screenshot of what looks like to be the entire. Actually, this next screenshot, reverse that.
That's Zack Snyder himself.
It's actually Zack Snyder and Dave Bautista surrounded by ghouly bodies. I just want to point out this is obviously Zack Snyder's next project since the JL. It's coming. JL release he just did for the Snyder Cut. Hashtag release. Was it? Bring back the
Restore the Snyderverse.
Restore the Snyderverse.
I love that the marketing for this movie was this is the only cut of this movie. Yes. There's no Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder did this movie. It's Zack the only cut.
And I don't think a lot of people realize that Dawn of the Dead back in like 2005 was a Zack Snyder movie, which had Phil Dunphy being like a degenerate.
Jerk. Yeah. Ving Rhames. He was also in that. What a good movie.
Ving Rhames is in it. I'm trying to think of like the other random big names, but still, get caught in the mall, zombies. So this is not new territory for our boy Zack Snyder. So I'm happy to see him return to the genre, especially when it's like it takes place in a place that your average Joe Schmo would think we could hold up in a place for a while. And this trailer takes place right in the middle, or this movie evidently taking place with Dave Bautista and this ragtag team of people going to Vegas, robbing some vault in Vegas, and then trying to make it out. But as you would expect, everybody in Vegas dies because what happens in Vegas evidently stayed in Vegas. It was all those zombies. And just look at this death squad, except for one person. We'll have to call him out.
Oh, Chris D'Elia. He's the only other one I recognize other than Dave Bautista.
I legit watched that trailer 3 times today.
He's not in it.
He's not in the trailer. I don't know
if they cut from the movie.
Cut him, or they just cut him from the trailer. They're hoping he has a comeback before May 21st or something.
I gotta look.
I don't know, but my dude did not have a good go of it recently because some allegations. He hasn't been convicted as far as I know, but that sucks. Sorry. Can't be doing this shit.
He's gone.
Dude. Is he out?
He got replaced.
Who replaced him?
Tig Notaro.
Who the hell is that?
I have no idea, but they replaced it. Oh my god!
Tig Notaro
replaced Chris D'Elia.
Oh, Tig, the freaking comedian, Tig Notaro. I got to bring this up. I'm bringing it up. I'm sharing the screen. We're going to zoom in. I love Tig. She's
incredible.
Yeah, dude. She's been recently in the Star Trek series Discovery. As one of their engineering officers. She's a great comedian.
Yeah,
talks
she's hilarious.
about her journey as a female comedian and things like that. But this is the ultimate fucking hilarious swap. Chris D'Elia for her.
That's what I'm saying. Like I watched that trailer and I did not recall him. So yeah, they totally replaced Crystalia after everything that happened with him. So
This is
good for
awesome.
her. I'm glad
Good
that
for her.
I'm glad that she's
right.
Hell yeah, dude.
I'm reading this live with you guys too. Evidently, she also she completed her gun training for the movie over Zoom. I didn't know you could do that. We're in the wrong business, Dom. We got to get jobs where we can get gun training over Zoom. Well, good for you, Tig. That's dope.
Yeah. Awesome.
I wish I was fast enough to Photoshop your face right over his face. I wish I had that kind of skill that I could do that, but I don't. All right, let's see. We got to get that over there. Couldn't drag her.
What's up with my man with the blonde hair all the way to the left? That guy.
I feel like he's been in stuff before. This guy. I feel like he's been in wrestling.
Yeah, I don't really recognize. Maybe. Like I said, I don't really recognize anybody here except for Bautista and Dalia, and Dalia's been replaced. So I'm not.
I recognize dude man in the center from a couple of TV series shows where he's been kind of a goofball, funny guy. So I appreciate him. The girl on the front left, she also looks familiar. But if you were to ask me, like on a game show, what they've been in, I would just take the money and run. I would not be answering that fucking question.
Right.
Next up on our hopefully better next slide, because congrats Tig yet again.
Yeah.
Let's see here. We got show me the navigator. Bam. No peeking. Bang. Shang-Chi coming out September 3rd.
So this is a funny story. So I was on the phone this morning with our friend Mike Mahaffey.
Hey, Mahaffey.
And I was like, hey, Shang-Chi comes out in September. When are we going to see a trailer for it? Not 5 minutes after we got off the phone, I get an email from comicbook.com. Shang-Chi trailer released. Dude, this looks off the chain.
I messaged you right after I watched it, and I said I got goosebumps. And what really kind of got me going was the fact that it was also Simu Lee's birthday today. And from this tweet, it doesn't look like. By the way, thanks Twitter trying to translate this tweet for me. For those right at home, the tweet reads, "This is the best birthday ever," because today's his birthday, and they didn't let him know. Marvel Studios said, "Happy birthday, Simu Lee. We hope you enjoy your birthday present." It's the brand new teaser trailer from Marvel Studios, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and experience it only in theaters September 3rd. Awesome trailer.
There's so much in this trailer that harkens back to like old school Chinese theater. And I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, I adore it. Talk about representation in movies. Like everybody bitched and moaned about Iron Fist and Iron Fist casting the guy from Game of Thrones, a white guy.
I was among them. I think we talked about this last time.
And I was like, all right, cool. Well, Danny Rand is an affluent white kid who's in a plane crash and learns Kung Fu. Like, that's actually the story. You can't just, it's not whitewashing when that's the actual character. Yeah. However, this guy, Simu Liu, Shang-Chi, I watched this trailer like 15 times today. I'm a huge, huge Kung Fu film fan. Like, Drunken Master with Jackie Chan, Once Upon a Time in China with Jet Li, all the way back to some of the Ekin Cheng and Andy Lau movies, House of Flying Daggers, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. You have a lot of that. You have a lot of those influences in here, and like all of the cinematography and all of the visuals in here. I'm super stoked for this movie. It's really cool because this movie looks like it just stands alone. Like it just looks like it has nothing to do with the Marvel universe, except that you start seeing those things. Like you start seeing some of the Marvel things inside of this movie. You have the 10 Rings, which was part of the main villain for the Iron Man saga. I mean, the guy that kidnapped him in the beginning of Iron Man 1 was a member of the 10 Rings. The Mandarin was in Iron Man 3, who's a member of the 10 Rings. And I'm stoked. I'm like geeking out over this movie. This movie looks so cool.
I think there's callbacks to the Avengers movie, Infinity War, where you've got our boy Ronan at the time, aka Hawkeye. He's taken out people. I believe those actors appear in the trailer, if I'm not mistaken. So there might be callbacks to what happened at the snap after the snap
Yeah.
into the blip, how they've rose to power during this vacuum. So that to me, hopefully this all kind of ties together as it typically does in the Marvel universe.
The dude who told Spider-Man to do a flip is in this movie. Do you remember Spider-Man Homecoming where he's like, "Yo, Spider-Man,
Yo, Spider-Man, do a flip."
He's on the bus in this
trailer. That's awesome, man. That big old hair.
Yeah,
I like that guy. He's great.
Cool. I'm super stoked. I can't wait for Shang-Chi. I just want to watch this trailer over and over again. It's so cool.
We were talking about what we could talk about in this episode, just like this past week, and you messaged me about the Army of the Dead. You hit me up about Fast 9, and then this I was like, oh, we couldn't film yesterday evening, Sunday for us. Not
it's a
Monday
blessing.
Dude,
I mean, I'm
so happy we got
Shang-Chi today. This is such a cool.
I'm so happy
a cool Monday thing was just grabbing this. I am really stoked. I mean, Awkwafina's in it. I know that she's been a little controversial.
Yeah. She's gonna be good though, man. I feel like I know she's been in a lot of things recently, and sure she's been controversial, but you know what? You're in the limelight. You're gonna say what you're gonna say.
Right.
Back it up. Back it up. You like it?
Yeah,
you say it. Good for you.
Now I just wanted Eternals trailer. Now I'm back in the Marvel.
Are you? You can't jinx it. Being like you said it yesterday. We got it today.
I want an Eternals trailer, and now I want Black Widow to come out.
If I get a notification while we're sitting here and it's like
Eternals teaser,
I'm like, oh, we're getting shut down for copyright today. Thanks, Dom. Whatever happened to that show, Joystick Maverick? Oh, you'll never
it's gone.
Well, this time, Dom, I got a surprise for you. Those on the people can't read the screen. It says sponsors. Guess what, buddy? We don't have any sponsors. Once again, we fucking don't. This week is brought to you by nobody because why not? Why would you? We've had 4 people listen to this thing. But if you are interested in sponsoring, we're not charging anything. There's nobody to listen. We just want to practice. So if you're out there selling Gold Bond mixers, or if you're trying to get protein shakes in the stores, or if you want a T-shirt company to take off called Big Ern's Trends or whatever, we don't care. We'll try it out. Just see if it works. I mean, we can read supposedly. We might not be good at it, but we'll try 2 times. We'll give it a shot. So just hit us up. Man, geez. All right. Well, this week's final round, and not spoiler alert again, but guess what? This week's final round, usually we kind of go over a big thing. Last time around was Godzilla versus Kong. We were doing the Falcon Winter Soldier. We actually are going to punt those for a little bit, kind of do a little bit of a mini series of our own for those. But this week, there was really fucking nothing, man. We got some things I want to talk about, things we're going to kind of bounce back and forth on. But no real big final round. It's just straight up us.
It's a slow news week. Yeah, I mean, there's not much going on.
It happens. I mean, it started with the beginning, and it will be the show being our double dip for the week. We're just going to go with it this week. So last week, believe it or not, this is kind of funny to me. I started watching The Nevers at my wife's behest just over the weekend. So they already had its premiere show yesterday, Sunday. Episode 2 came out. The show takes place in kind of this Victorian London era. It's really around these individuals who are what are called the touched by society, and they kind of have their own abilities. I won't spoil too much from the show, but what I will do is read the synopsis just to give you a little something. The Nevers is described as an epic science fiction drama about a gang of Victorian women who find themselves with unusual abilities, relentless enemies, and a mission that might change the world. It's kind of steampunky-ish.
It looks like it.
There's some invention. One of these girls is a great inventor, the Stark of the show, if you will. But they've all got a little bit of something extra. One girl can kind of glimpse the future. One girl is 10 feet tall. A guy can heal like a surgeon instead of using tools, and he just uses his mind and his hands to do surgery and things like that. So it's definitely a neat spin. The big thing, and I want to point it out on this poster, A Touch of Power Can Change the World, HBO original, The Nevers. Not once on here do you see from the mind of the guy who brought you Justice League 2017. But this show,
masterpiece,
is created, written, and directed by Joss Whedon.
Oh wow!
It's his big project since JL, as far as I can tell. So far, so good. I think historically, and he probably should have stuck with this. He's done pretty good with ensemble cast in general. I won't fault him for the great work he did on the Avengers, obviously he's gotten some negative. But with female leads, you've got Buffy. Alias was a big smash hit for him. He even did stuff with Marvel's Agents of Shield. So I think he's trying to come back, and I think HBO may have made a masterstroke move here of not trying to tie the Nevers too strongly to him.
Yeah, he's been in the news. It's kind of like that. It's that age-old argument: can you still love the art but hate the artist based on the artist's actions? And
right,
Joss Whedon has historically been kind of a major dick to people on movie sets and everything. I mean, Charisma Carpenter came out about Buffy, and then you have Gal Gadot coming out and all of that.
Right? Yeah.
Right. And then all the stuff that happened with Ray Fisher in the Justice League. And I mean, yes, the guy's done some really great things. I loved Buffy. I liked Alias. His run on X-Men, Astonishing X-Men, the comic book, incredible. Probably the best X-Men story to come out. But yes, you're right. HBO is smart, because I tell you right now, if you put From the Mind of Joss Whedon above this, nobody's watching it right now, especially with what's going on.
People will turn right around, and it sucks because it definitely has a lot of female leads that are taking a lot of power in this show and really kind of sticking it to the man, literally and figuratively, in the show so far. I'm enjoying it. I suggest you give it a chance.
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
This is my pitch to you. It's what you think it is. It's Victorian. It's kind of mutants in a way, and there's antics ensue. A little bit of Sherlock Holmes-ish to it.
Yeah,
a lot of mysteries to be solved. So good stuff. Let me see what's next on our list. I think this is your turn, Dom.
I think it's Resident Evil Village. Yeah. So the demo for Resident Evil Village came out for 8 hours.
What? Wait, explain that to me. Back it up.
They did this timed, hey, you can play the demo. It's only available for 8 hours. Obviously, I missed it because, I work, or I also have things that I have to do, and I can't just do a demo within 8 hours.
We all got oblos, man. Obligations is what I call oblos, by the way. Obligations.
But 8 hours. This snuck up on me. I saw this was announced last year. And I guess time kind of stood still time sped up with COVID. I saw this was announced, and then I asked a friend of mine a couple of days ago, I'm like, does Resident Evil 8 come out in a month? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, where the hell did that come from? In this picture, you can see Lady Dimitrescu. I think that's her name. She is like a 10-foot tall vampire lady that is really just crazily weirdly attractive. Everybody loves her. Everybody's really into her.
The internet's found a lot of really great angles of this character. If you know what we're saying.
If you've played Resident Evil 2, there's a character called Mr. X where he's kind of like a big bad villain, and you can't kill him, but he chases you throughout the thing. They did just come out and say that this woman's going to play a very similar role in Resident Evil Village. And then you have these three, her daughters. Again, it's been a depressing episode when it comes to death. The woman who mocapped the actress on the far left actually passed away a couple of months ago, which is terrible. But she's done an incredible job. They're all really crazy. I'm stoked. I'll be interested to talk about this when this comes out, because this is this is the first next gen Resident Evil. So it's on PS5, it's on Xbox Series X, as well as PC, and then Xbox One and PS4. So it looks cool. I'm stoked to see how it goes. I didn't play 7. I heard good things about 7. It was kind of a departure from the series because it was all first person. Okay. And I think this is also doing the same thing. But 7 got rave reviews, so we'll see.
I'm definitely up for any kind of scare game. I think, what was it? Used to be called Clock Tower. Was it back on the old PlayStation? That used to scare the crap out of me. So these games have always kind of hit that genre for me. Silent Hill being among those.
Yeah,
I'm definitely interested to see how this gameplay holds up over time. So that's good. See the last one, wrap up our show today. This is more of a pitch for me to you again, Dom. This is, I feel like this is a show I think you would appreciate.
I don't understand why I haven't watched this show. It's like right up my alley. It has one of the people that I adore, Rob McElhenney.
I mean, it hits home on so many levels. You got Always Sunny actor Rob McElhenney, right? We just mentioned that. It takes place kind of behind the scenes at what essentially is like a Blizzard office parody, right? And it's all centered around these team of developers, this creative director and his fellow creative director, and they kind of co-creative director. They create this world that's pretty much a WoW game. It's an MMORPG, and antics ensue in the office. So it reminds me a lot of our days back at the Genius Bar. I think 10 years later we could talk about working at
we could totally like we're not under any NDA after 10 years. We totally could talk about the fact that we worked at the Genius Bar 10 years ago.
Yeah, what's up? I might have to rock that shirt. Well, I don't know if I'll fit in that shirt ever again.
No, I don't.
Yeah, so speaking of Mahaffey, what's up, Mahaffey? No, it's I like it because to me they've done a really good job of kind of making that spin on the office environment. Making it feel kind of homely. The first season's already out, so if you haven't signed up for Apple Plus, again, fucking no sponsors this week. They are not paying for us, but if you sign up for Apple TV, you get, I think, the first year free right now. Still, maybe
if you buy a new Apple device, you get a year free. If you say Apple 4 times fast, you get a year free. They're handing Apple TV Plus out for free to everyone.
If you say it 5 times fast, Tim Cook will show in the mirror. Apple. But no, I like it. This past COVID, everybody went to Zoom meetings. They had an entire episode that was all around Zoom work. So the entire episode was Zoom-esque. Which a bunch of shows did that. It was kind of like the Halloween special of 2020 was every show doing a Zoom special. So this past episode was more of a special edition one-off before the second season launches on May 7th. But it was all about kind of an in-game holiday, which for me and Dom, who have played World of Warcraft, we love the in-game holidays. Every Halloween, I try like a son of a bitch and fail like a son of a bitch to try to get the Headless Horseman's mount. Never get it. And one day, though, I will get those flaming hooves and that flaming mane, and I'll ride it all around Azeroth, and I will love it. But today is not that day. But they have a kind of real-life office holiday to celebrate all their hard work, and antics ensue. So
that's awesome.
If you haven't, give it a check. Even in the background, you'll giggle. I promise. Lots of familiar faces in the show. Rickety Cricket from Always Sunny's in it. As well as Abed from Community, Danny
Putty.
Danny Putty, yeah. So he plays a complete fucking opposite role.
Really?
That it shows the kooky Abed is gone, and I'm a fan of this new character.
That's awesome.
But
I'll have to give it a shot.
Yeah, man. But that's it for this week. As far as I've got stuff, we're going to do a quick after show. Let's chat it up, bud. Anything going on your end? Anything big we got coming up? We got Mortal Kombat next week, right?
Mortal Kombat this week, dog.
Oh, shit.
Dude, Friday. Friday's a big day for movies.
Oh, it's the 19th today. Yes, it is.
Yeah, so we got Mortal Kombat Friday, the finale of Falcon and the Winter Soldier on Friday, which I cannot fucking wait for.
The minute it comes out, we got to start coordinating that miniseries.
Yeah, we do, because we have so much shit to talk about. I want to talk about.
Like, nobody's going to believe us, but trust me when I say Dom and I have not talked about any of these episodes.
No, not since the last time we recorded a podcast about Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We haven't talked about it.
I've been saving like TikToks that are making fun of it, like just little things to share, like
just ready to talk about it.
Oh my god, it's so funny! It's so true. Like, look at I can't wait. I can't wait.
But we got Mortal Kombat. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, if you're a Destiny 2 player, we're at the end of the season for Destiny 2, Season of the Chosen. So that is wrapping up, and we'll probably start seeing a lot more regarding the next season. They are bringing back a whole bunch of stuff from Destiny 1 next season, so that's pretty cool. What about you, man? Anything coming up?
out in the next 7 days. I have not. I'm a Fortnite player. That's right. If you can tell by my goofy nature, I enjoy games that are cartoon based. But no, I haven't played really much of anything. Just been down in the weeds. So I'm looking forward to getting back and mixing it up there. I tend to kind of enjoy the first day or so of a new season of that game, and then kind of wait for people to figure stuff out, watch some tutorials, and understand the layout. And I'll get back in and start building up my towers and blowing people away. But I definitely am looking forward to once again trying to get a next gen console. And once that happens, maybe
I got a link for you. I'll hit you with the link after. Apparently there's a big restock of Xbox Series X's coming to GameStop on Wednesday.
Spoiler alert! I'm gonna get one.
Yeah. So
don't you guys who don't listen to this show yet ever try to get one out from under me? But I digress.
I'm gonna try to get one too because I want a Series X. So yeah, dude.
Cool. Well, let's wrap it up. So once again, this is Joystick Maverick, episode 4, coming to an end. You can catch us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok with only one video, and then
Friendster, MySpace, Zanga,
just fucking
Live Journal,
Bear Shares, Kazaa Light,
LimeWire,
Napster. All those places on the socials, joystickmaverick.com.
Not on Parler. We're not on Parler.
No, we're not on Parler. No, we're not. No. Don't no. And if somebody says that it's us, it's fucking not.
It's not us.
Just be clear. I am Ernie Hawkins, aka Ernie UXD on social.
I'm Dom Irvin, aka El Dizza on social.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.